Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is number 6 of our 25 snowflakes. Now this one's pretty simple. We basically start with our, what is that, chain 4? How many loops do we start with? Chain 4, yep. Chain 4, then we got our loops, loop, 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 and it kind of looks like a pedal. And then basically round 3, all we're doing is single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then we fill those singles with some singles, and then we get the little points at the end. Now when we starch this in the second starching video, so this is snowflake 6, we're going to work 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then after that 10th snowflake, then we're going to have the starching video for those 5. So this one, if you want to go ahead and starch it, all you got to do is put a needle through the center and then get those chain 6 points. I think it's chain 6. Yeah. Chain 6 points to poke on your 6 point your 6 point diagram. And yeah, so get your 6 points out there and it's nice and pretty. Okay, so what you're gonna need is your 1.75 millimeter hook, a stitch marker, your size 22 DMC needle, which is for embroidery and cross stitch, but they work perfect to weave in the ends of our size 10 Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, and a pair of scissors, and that's it. So get your guys' supply. Oh, excuse me, I just like everything got tangled up inside me at once. Get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. Okay, to get started, we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. Make sure you leave a long tail for, well, maybe a little longer than that. A long tail to weave in your end. All right, and we're going to start with a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch to the first chain to form a ring. Right there's my first chain. All right, open that up a little. There's my ring. All right, now we're going to work a single crochet into the ring. Oh, excuse me, I need to find my stitch markers. All right, so we chain 1, and then we're going to go back into the ring. Now that big hole that you see right there, that's not our ring. That's just the space left from the slip stitch into that last chain. So if we pull that, it'll tighten it up a little bit, and then we don't get confused on that. But right in the middle here, right there, that's our ring. So we work a single. Now I'm going to stop. I'm going to mark that with my stitch marker. All right, now we chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Single crochet back into the ring. Get in there. And then we're going to repeat that again. Chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Single crochet back into the ring. Make sure you're working over that tail so we can weave it in. Or I mean pull it tight. Okay, so we're going to repeat that. Let's see, 1, 2, 4 more times. Because we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these chain 8 loops, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back, single crochet into the ring. Go over your tail. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Single crochet back into the ring. Just scooching these single crochets out of the way. Single crochet back in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 8, so we need 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back down here and single crochet. Now that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 6th chain 8, and now we're going to come down and slip stitch into that first single crochet we had marked with that stitch marker. So go right in there and work a slip stitch. All right, that's the end of round 1, I'm sorry. To start round 2, we're going to slip stitch into the chain 8. We're going to slip stitch 3 times. 1, 2, one more. Come on. 3. Basically what that's doing is it's moving us up that chain 8. All right. We're going to chain 1. And then we're going to work 4 single crochet into this first loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to mark that first chain, first single crochet with a stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mark that. All right, now we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to work 4 single crochet into the next loop. So jump right straight over to the next chain 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2. Go into the next loop with 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2. 4 single into the next loop. Chain 2, 4 single into the next loop. Chain 2, 4 single into the next loop. And I will meet you when we finish the last chain 8 loop. With work your 4 single crochets in there, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've made it to that last chain 8 loop. I worked my 4 single. Now I'm going to chain 2, and then we're going to come over and we're going to slip stitch to that first single crochet that we marked. Okay, and that is the end of round 2. So for round 3, we chain 1. We're going to single crochet into the first single crochet, so the one we just slip stitched into, and you can see the whole single crochet in there. And then we're going to single crochet into the next single. Okay, now we chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to single into the next 2. So 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and stop. I should have done this. I forgot. Mark our first. So there's our chain 2. There is our first single. Here's our second single. There's our first single. So I'm going to mark that one. Okay. Okay, now into the chain 2 space that we have between our 2 loops, we're going to work 2 singles. 1 and 2. Okay, and now we're just going to repeat again. Single crochet into the next 2. 1 and 2. Chain 2. Single crochet into the next 2. And then 2 single crochet into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. And then repeat that again. Single crochet into the next 2 singles. This one's a little tough to see. Right there. Into the next single. Chain 2. 1 and 2. Single into the next 2. 1 and 2. And now 2 single into the chain 2. 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys repeat this off camera. I'm going to let you guys work this, and I'm going to finish this off camera. But it's single into the next 2, chain 2, single into the next 2, 2 singles into the chain 2, single crochet into the next 2, chain 2, single into the next 2, 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space. And I'm going to repeat that until you get to that last chain 2 space, and then that's where I'm going to come back, okay? So I'm going to finish up round 3, and I will be right back. Okay, I've made it around. I've worked my 2 single, chain 2, 2 single. Here's my little chain 2 space, my last one, and I'm going to work 2 singles into there. And then we're going to, oops, get out of there. We're going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet right here. So take that out. And we're going to work a slip stitch right in there. Okay, that's the end of round 3. And we are going to move on to the very last round of our little snowflake. Okay, so we are going to chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet into the very first single crochet, which happens to be the same one we slip stitched into. So single crochet into there. And now I'm going to remember to mark that with my stitch marker. All right. Now we're going to single crochet into our next single. You can see it right there. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause my video because I couldn't read my chicken scratch. Okay, so we worked the first single crochet, the second single crochet, and now into that chain 2 space right here, we're going to work a single, chain 6, and then go right back in there for another single. So go in there, single, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to go right back down into there, that chain 2 with another single. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 6 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to the chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I lost my, knocking everything over here. Okay. That was 4. Here is 5 and one more for 6. And then we're back to the chain 2 space, which is the single, chain 6, single. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Single crochet back into the chain 2. And then a single crochet into the next 6 single. So you guys go ahead and repeat that. Single crochet until your chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 6, single crochet, single the next 6 to your next chain 2 space, and repeat that around, and I will meet you at the last chain 2 space. Okay, I'm back and I've worked the last single crochet, chain 6, single crochet, and now we are going to single crochet, and we should only have 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets to work. We shouldn't have 6 this time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. Now we're going to slip stitch to the very first single that we have marked. I have a, right now my camera is zoomed in on my hand so you guys can see, just a second, slip stitch to that very first single. But I have a, like I'm zoomed in real close, but I have this long sleeve shirt and the thread like sticks to it and it's driving me nuts. I can't, I keep getting tangled up in it. Okay, so we slip stitch to our first single crochet and chain 1. Now, if you are going to use those little Christmas ornament hooks to hang your snowflakes, you can just pull up a loop and fasten off, or cut and fasten off. But if you are going to use your thread as a loop to make a loop, chain 1 and then pull up a long loop so we can get a good sized tail. I'm going to zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So I pulled out a good sized tail. And now cut. Okay, now I'm going to weave in my center tail. You'd think I'd be ready for tutorials when I start, like I'd have all my supplies here, and I never am. Okay, get my 22 DMC needle. These are actually for cross stitch and embroidery, but they work perfect for weaving in your thread ends. So I'm going to start with the middle one first just to get it out of the way. All right. So I'm just going to go right under the legs of these doubles. Or not doubles, these are singles. Pull it tight one more time and pull it tight, and then I'm just going to cut. Once we starch these are never going to come out nice and stiff. Okay, so now for our little hanging loop, I'm going to take this end and get it threaded. Well, that's not pretty. There, I got it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in. You see where my slip stitch and my chain 1 is? I'm going to come right back in that same spot so it makes a nice pretty little beginning point of my loop. I don't pull it that tight. I didn't mean to do that. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull it in there and then pull it back out a little bit until you get the length that you like for your little hanger. And I like that long. That is probably, see if I can guess, about 4.5 inches. Every time I try to guess the height of something, I'm always way off. Yeah, it's like 3 1/4. Oh, geez. I have a joke I could say, but it's really inappropriate, so I better not. Alright, so now we're just going to finish weaving in our ends. Get in there. Alright. Pull that in. Don't pull that any tighter. I should have came back before I pulled my needle off, just to lock it down so it doesn't move. Come back. There. Okay, now I can cut that tail. And there is our 6th snowflake. Now when we block this, or I should say starch it, we are going to start in the middle, put a pin in the middle to hold it in place, and then we're going to put a pin in each of these chain 6 loops and get them real nice and pointy. Pull them tight so they point. And then what that's going to do is straighten out that middle to where it looks a little like a flower, but I like it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Snowflake number 6. Now we're going to work 6, snowflake 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'll do the starching video for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it'll be 7, 8, or I'm sorry, 7. So it'll be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then a starching video for those 5. So it's 5 snowflakes, then a starch. 5 snowflakes, then the starching video. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the greatest. In the description box, I got links for all the supplies that you could need to make all these snowflakes and the angel. And then I've also got links to my Facebook group, my Instagram, and my Twitter. Twitter's fun. Okay, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.